Welcome to Kyalami in the GT2. It's going to be rocking the BMW with the Shell V-Power livery, and for the start of this race, a couple of corners do end up getting very messy, but this race does a full-blown U-turn and turns into one of the best races that I've had in a long time in Forza Motorsport. And it's really weird how that works out. Coming down towards turn 1, I'm going to hang it over to the right side a little bit and try and give everybody the more inside line. Try not to be involved in that chaos, because it does benefit you to a degree as you have the inside line of turn 2 as we took up behind the Ferrari, a little bit squirrely on the rear end. Coming up turn 3, getting right up behind the matte black BMW and end up almost destroying that car. I thought they would be a little bit quicker off the mark than what was occurred, but clearly I was wrong, and apologies to the BMW driver. Although a good dish of karma is best served cold, as we did get put back in our place. Fair enough though. Problem is the karma gets served again and get bundled out wide. To be fair though, it's not the blue BMW's fault. They also got bundled out wide. While it does look bad, really bad actually, we're P20 and the car behind us has a DNF. The only way is up to a degree. I mean, we're already gained one place now thanks to that GT40 parking on a grass bank to see what is going on, letting everybody through and not making us look so bad. Coming around this corner here, we have Ernest Haft, who went very wide into that corner there. That is another position gained. We also have another ace up our sleeve. While everybody is probably going to be that little bit quicker than us, we are rocking hard tyres. You can do a hard tyre no stop here, so the aim of the game is, yeah, don't pit flash and make it work. So surrendering positions to Ernest up in front, probably the better thing to do. They're going to bridge that gap between ourselves and everybody up in front. We'll be a little bit quicker out the corner, but where they're gaining the corners, we're going to be gaining in the slipstream and reeling them in. It's more bunny hopping, but if the strategy works, might as well use it. Car up in front, 0.5 seconds away, now down to 0.4, the fastest point of slipstream. We're braking at the 100 board on the right hand side, down to second gear, around this corner we go, and accelerating out to the side. Look at that, 0.4 seconds away. They're also about the same distance away from the Corvette that is in front of them. Well, was the same distance away that was from the Corvette, as they had a little bit of a moment through that corner there. Ourselves having a slightly better run, going to be overtaking the Corvette, who ultimately does back out from this corner here, which is probably the best thing to do. It's very, very tight. You don't really want to go through too wide through there. One of you will end up going well off track. And talking about going off track, the Corvette behind has gone and eaten a lot of dirt as they didn't make it through that corner there. So we're no longer under pressure from anybody behind, just now need to move up. And you can see moving up is going to be very interesting with the pile of cars up ahead. We're making a move on this BMW to the right side, using what we like to call the cut-in. So braking really tight on the inside and pretty much parking your car on the apex secures that position, unless the car you're undertaking decides to do a cutback, and things can get rather spicy. But yeah, that wasn't the case this time around. Braking at the 100-meter board, and the BMW, not impressed with my overtake, decided to dive bomb into everybody else and use the Ferrari as a braking mechanism, ultimately actually gaining 2 places. So right or wrong, they gained, and I don't think they got a penalty for it either. Braking into this corner now, the GT40 has been now included into the party, and whilst they are slightly ghosted, gets near enough wrecked by the other car to our left hand side. Interesting how that works out. A free position from the Porsche, and the Ferrari is breathing all over us. GT40 actually had a really good run out there. The power that thing's got definitely accelerates quicker than this BMW. Whether it corners at the same magnitude, who knows? Going to find out in a moment, as we are breathing all over them. Going to be looking for a move here, kissing that curb on the left hand side, nearly crashing to the GT40 to the right, side by side. Out this corner we go, and ultimately having the quicker exit, we have taken that position from the GT40. Incredible driving there, managed the undercut, and no contact was introduced throughout any of that. So credit where credit's due also to the GT40. Braking just after the 50 board, a little bit of a kiss from the rear end, as we may have gone a tad slow through that corner, but no harm, no foul. That kiss has introduced the Ferrari to battle with them. and whatever's going on back there isn't too pretty. Catching up to the BMW, who gained 2 places from the undercut. We're going to do the same move again here, see if we can actually park it in the apex so they can't do the cutback this time. Let's go down to first gear, nice and tight, looking for that cutback, but parking it on the apex reduced all momentum they was about to carry, and out the other side we go, flying down behind Looper 1580 up ahead, who is rocking a 2-second penalty. Again, breaking out the 100 ball, but rather than going out wide, we're going to keep it nice and tight on the inside, not let the door open for Ernest behind us. What we need to do is catch up with the Corvette up in front and try and break away from the BMW behind, as they will be benefiting from a huge amount of slipstream if they're within the 0.4 second range. And right now we're 0.4 seconds away from Looper up ahead, and Ernest almost doing an incredible dive bomb, probably close enough to take us out to that final corner there, is now over a second away, so no problem there. Braking again at the 100 board, down to first gear here, nice and tight, right up behind the Corvette. I'm going to start applying a bit of pressure to them, see if a mistake can be made, and another position gained. Overall, we're in position 14, which is incredible considering we pretty much started last to a degree. Going to have a look at the inside of this corner here, but not going to commit for it. I'm going to back out, let them take it. I don't want any contact as we're going around this corner. Like you saw, Looper needed to go to the inside. It is very tight. Yes, it can be done too wide, but not everybody can do it. So it's better just to err on the side of caution to a degree. It's probably the Le Mans Ultimate Racing I've been doing lately that's ringing in my ears of damage and being mindful and careful of the situation, and probably predicting a little bit better. Whether that's improved on my own driving skill, who knows? But the racing overall has been insane. Up the inside of Looper, again committing that same move as we did to the BMW earlier. 3 laps in a row, 3 positions in a row. Absolutely, that move works every single time if they are not on the inside. Lovely bit of going there. Braking at 100 board, Looper was looking to make a move there, but ultimately nudged the car over ever so slightly, kind of moved on the braking, a little bit naughty, but really took that dream away from them from trying to get that position back. 2.4 seconds away from Blade Rider up ahead, who is in the Dodge Viper. We need to try and remove Looper from being behind us and catch up to the Viper. We have a problem at the moment, and that being the Corvette is on the inside. Now, I could move over. I'm not trusting that radar system too much. It's not the first time that while it is on yellow or there is space between us, doesn't mean that space is actually there. But look at that cutback move. Going to have the inside line of turn 3. Side by side again with the Corvette. Kiss of the brakes. Over the curb we go, out the other side. No contact's been made, but it has spooked Looper and ultimately given us a huge amount of breathing space from anybody behind. Now we can just focus on pushing hard and catching up to Blade Rider up ahead, is almost 3 seconds away, which is really what we need at the moment. A little bit of cushion, a little bit of breathing space, and by the time we get to lap 8, most of the drivers have gone into the pits, and we have not yet. Howler up in front, who I've got a feeling is the same BMW that I rear-ended earlier. We have caught up to them. Kind of wondering if they are also doing a hard no-stop strategy, and if that is the case, we're going to get right up behind them, really apply that pressure, so nothing on their screen is but the radar and ourselves in their rear view mirror, obviously depending on what view they are using. But look how close we are, and look at the state of that rear end. Let's have a look at how many pixels are in it. Do you know what, I'm only joking. I'm going to back off a little bit. I don't want to be rear-ending Howler again. Clearly wasn't impressed with it the first time around, and it is kind of frustrating that someone does bump you along. So let's just keep behind them, keep applying that pressure, and hopefully a mistake may be made. Kissing that curb on the right hand side, Howler goes off into the pits. So they're going to be stopping off hard tyres onto a set of softs. Car behind us, on the other hand, has already been in the pits and has been catching us up at quite an alarming rate. Blade Rider up ahead, 3.2 seconds away, has not been in the pits as of yet. They're definitely going to be doing a hard no-stop strategy, because you can get 3 to just about 4 laps on a set of soft tyres. So why wouldn't you pit on the previous lap? Zetus behind us is going to be looking to make a move. We're going to have to be mindful of when they are going to attack. We want to try and get them to attack at the right time. Not when it suits them, but more when it suits us, that we can both make it out alive. We are the ones in front. We are the ones that is more control of this whole situation. Although, if they are not interested in being fair, then we can just get barreled off the track. But I think here is a good opportunity, after we've been through the S's, to let them pass. We're going to pick a side, get out of their way, and let them take that position. Yes, I know you're behind me, buddy. Go up the hill, you can have it. But I'm going to still make you work for it, because I need you. I need you out the other side of this corner to drag me down this hill. So nice and tight through there. Go on, buddy, go round, get the power on. I can tuck in behind you and use your power and speed to get us to catch up to that Dodge Viper up ahead. There is method to said madness, and it has worked to a degree. Lap 10, we are 1.5 seconds away from Blade Rider again, who is in the Dodge Viper, letting another person who has been through the pits and out the other side through again. Now, would it be nicer to be a little bit quicker through that corner? And again, you saw it's the same place as last time. Again, going to be using the Corvette's power to bring us down the mountain. Not too sure why they have pretty much given up and gone off track. Cannot Grumble is still another free position. Going around this corner now, right up behind Legit Leopard 703. And we've been using their momentum to bring us down the mountain. But a bit of contact with the Dodge Viper has pushed them out wide, giving us that undercut, giving us that position. This is the final lap. We have position 5 in the bag. Judd Nova in position 1, 23 seconds ahead, which is an absolutely insane amount of time ahead. But they didn't have the fun that we had back in. It probably had quite a much easier race than ourselves. Tyres are on minor wear as we go around this final lap. So, yeah, hard no stop does work here. Minor wear, although can be a little bit slippier on this track, it doesn't seem to affect it all too much. You see already, our time delta is probably one of the better lap times we've set up to now, although that corner there braked a little bit too late. No harm, no foul. We are still setting a 5/10 faster lap time than we have done throughout this whole race. Sadly though, Leopards is getting away from us. They have that 1 second penalty. It would have been nice to stay behind them and also use that penalty against them and claim that position, but clearly not going to be the case. As long as Blade Rider behind us doesn't take that position from us, cool, that was loud, doesn't seem to be the case, we're finishing this race off in position 5. So we started off in P13, had a crash, ended up being last, and finishing the race off in position 5. What an incredible race it was, but it doesn't end there. We're going to head over to Suzuka now and have an absolute blast of a race. Again, same level and quality of driving, but we get a far better start. For one of them, we actually start off in position 10, which is absolutely insane, and on the inside. Couldn't get any better or luckier than that. Going up the inside of the BMW to the left, we have the inside line. A little bit of contact has been made as we get dragged out wide, but we do the nice bit of undercut, a little bit of door rubbing here and there with everybody else, and we're in position 5. I mean, yeah, things could have been tidier, don't get me wrong, but we gained 5 positions, so I'm not grumbled too much at that. Now, Joffrey Boy behind, who is rocking the white BMW, is holding everybody up, which is, thank you, buddy, that is very, very much appreciated. 0.8 seconds away. Looks like the Dodge Viper is going to start battling with them, and they have gone and eaten a lot of dirt. Hopefully the Viper doesn't start attacking us. We can catch up to this Porsche up ahead, get away from all the cars behind. No, maybe not. To be fair, Stuttgart has been actually very, very quick. Might have to surrender this position to Stuttgart. Go out wide, let them have it, and then use the power of the Dodge Viper. Listen to that engine to reel us in, catch up to the Porsche, and catch up to the cars in front of that. It's only one position we're down, and using them to make ourselves quicker is probably quicker overall than it is to try and defend for the next 9 laps, which isn't really going to happen. So you've got to choose your battles wisely. Come around this corner now, the end of Spoon out the other side. Dodge Viper and the Porsche are neck and neck. That may slow them down at the end of this run, which will only, again, benefit us. They are 0.7 seconds away, so we have an inch of slipstream, but not powerful enough. And again, we have to brake a little bit earlier than everybody else. Go take that corner a little bit slower, as we are doing, again, a hard no-stop strategy. It does work out really well here, except for the final 2 laps are a little bit sketchy. Final lap is very sketchy, but it works. The overall time you save from not stopping can be quicker in certain circumstances. And right now, we're a little bit slow, 1.2 seconds away from position 5 up ahead, but we have an incredible amount of time from position 7 behind us, who is 2.6 seconds away. Porsche making a few mistakes there, but the more mistakes they make, the quicker we are going to be able to catch up to them. It's going to be kind of difficult to overtake that Porsche to a degree. I think they do defend quite heavily, and it might be an opportunist overtake rather than a general overtake. They may well be in a different tyre compound, thus a corner overtake will be far more difficult for ourselves. Right up behind J Mark, up in front, going to start applying that little bit of pressure, braking at the 50 board just here. Going to give him a little bit of space. Don't want to go into the back of him like we did with the BMW earlier. Oh my gosh, you braked early there, bud. That wasn't expected. Yeah, that was a very early brake. Yeah. Ah well, it happens. The thought that counts, I guess, to a degree, if you did try to avoid them and ended up going to the back. No harm, no foul. They're still on the track, still on the black stuff. 0.5 seconds ahead, and I did say sorry to them as well for said contact. Might be a chance actually we get them on the other side of Spoon, so I know they're not too quick on this final part of Spoon here, so we might actually have to cut back. No, just going to get the power down early enough to capitalise upon that, but we have closed that door a lot more. 0.2 seconds away, going to be in a huge amount of slipstream, but we're going to have to let off. We don't want to overtake on the inside here. It's sketchy and very contactful, but we are going to overtake now. Up the inside we go, braking at the 100 board, a little bit contact from the rear, no harm, no foul. Again, we're still in the black stuff. Through this final chicane, out the other side we go, 0.6 seconds ahead. And we need to make sure that we can break a little bit of that slipstream away from them. We don't want them catching up on us as we enter our next braking zone at the end of the straight. Does work out in our favour in the end, but we have a new person putting us under pressure. RC2311X is breathing all over us. Definitely going to be much quicker through that corner there. We're braking at 100 board. We're going to be side by side through the chicane here, and look at that, beautiful. No contact from either party, and away we go. And I ultimately think they backed out there, so respect to you, sir. I think they probably more backed out due to the contact that we had together, but they are going to be putting us under pressure again and looking to take that position away from us. We just got to make sure that, again, we control the situation and let them pass when it's safe to do so, and safe for both of us to do it to a degree. We're going to keep over to the left hand side here, let them take that position, let off a little bit, and then tuck up behind them. You see J Mark that was behind us in the Porsche is close the door a little bit, now 0.7 seconds away. But remember, we did surrender ourselves away from the GT40, and actually probably a little bit too much, which has cost us a little bit of time. Car behind those rocking a 1.1 second penalty, and right now at the moment we are breaking away from them, so absolutely incredible. Les Nebula up in front is in position 1, 25 seconds away, hasn't been in the pits as of yet. But by the time we get to lap 6, we have NWR Hyphen, who has managed to go through the pits and overtake us. J Mark, that was in the Porsche behind us, is 2 seconds away. They have not pitted at the moment. They may also be doing a hard no-stop strategy. It is dicey though. The last lap is very sketchy and you do lose a mountain of time. So preparation for this race is get yourself as far ahead as you can, so later on when you start losing time it's not so detrimental. And as you can see now, we're on the podium position, except for Stugard, who was in the Viper earlier. Pretty sure it was the Dodge Viper. Will be catching us up very quickly. 4.6 seconds away at the moment. We still have lap 7, 8, 9 and 10 to go. They're going to be closing that door probably 2 seconds a lap. which means by the time we get to lap 8 or 9, they would be behind us, overtaken. So we're not going to finish this race in podium position, sadly. You see, there we are, end of lap 7, start of lap 8, breathing all over us. Going to move over to a side, let them take that position. Going to be easier for us to get pulled along, be quicker from that overall than it is to try and defend for another 2 laps. It's just not going to happen. But what is insane is how far position 5 is away from us. 11.7 seconds, and they haven't pitted either. So the drivers that have pitted are going to be much further away than that. That's why I say the time saved by not stopping is really incredible. By the time we get to lap 10, our final lap, position 5 is 24.3 seconds away, and they have pitted. A massive amount of time. Now, it's very rare, to be fair, that this happens where position 5 is that far away. But this is one of those races where sometimes not stopping, pitting, things like that has really benefited. There's other times during a race where things are very much more bunched up, and pitting is probably the better thing to do. Right now you can see how worn our tyres are. We are on moderate wear, and this car is actually quite controllable on moderate wear. It's just more of a sliding machine rather than a gripping one. Just feels like you put an extra few pounds on and struggle to get around that corner. It's the best way of putting it. But Stuttgart is 16.3 seconds away, so you can see the time they have gained from us in a couple of laps. Like I say, this final lap is so detrimental because of how worn the tyres are. Doing 108 miles per hour through that final corner there was extremely slow when we usually do it 130. Just shows you how far off pace you are. This is why the first lap on the first 2 laps are real key here to making this hard no-stop strategy work. When we crossing that line in position 4, what a brilliant race that was. Credit's due to all the drivers in these 2 videos. It has been an absolute incredible race. Thank you all for watching.